When you have a company, such as a video game company, and your entire bloodline, so to speak, to keep the company alive is to make a product and then put it out on the market to essentially get people to buy said product so they can give you their money so that you can use that money to do whatever you need to do with the company, whether it be to expand it or give salaries to the people who give hard work. But also, you should be able to have a department that prevents or sort of like gathers info on products that you put out to see whether or not they're working and people are enjoying it. Otherwise, how can you continue to stay afloat as a company if you're giving out products that do not work? As you guys are noticing from the title, I know it's a strong title, but I'm still going to stick to it, and I'll say it again here on the video. DICE is a bunch of cowards. All right? Anyone who's anyone pretty much knows the debacle that is Battlefield 2042. And when I first heard about it, I saw the reveal trailer for it, and I almost was like, oh wow, a new Battlefield game that isn't set in like World War II era, where we actually get modern weaponry and vehicles and mechanics for once. And it looked pretty good. Now, I was thinking about getting it, but at the time I wasn't in a financial crisis, but I wanted to be very careful on what I planned to buy, because at the time I wanted to save my money enough so I could buy a subscription to play Final Fantasy 14, because the new Endwalkers DLC expansion pack was going to come out. So I was sort of torn apart, so I just chose not to get it. And it was a good thing I didn't, because apparently Battlefield was a mess. And guys, I know I'll try to go over information as much as possible, but I don't want to repeat the history that's already happened. So you can easily go look it up yourselves. I want to keep this as short as possible. But the thing is, I want a product that works. And usually it's better if you have a customer relations department so that you can give feedback on, like, hey, this is broken, this is broken, this is broken, or you need to fix this, this, and this. And that's kind of how, products get fixed. But DICE has shown to be very either they're putting people in the forefront who are too sensitive or incompetent in their job. So I'm going to go over an article here from PlayStation Lifestyle. I have the link down below. It says, Battlefield 2042 devs no longer engaging with game subreddit due to toxicity. And already, I don't know, and that word. Whenever I hear someone use the word toxicity, I get so mad. Because when someone on the left describes a community or a group or a place as toxic, my immediate reaction is, what does that mean? It's so vague. Can you be more specific about something? What do you mean toxic? Like, what is it, poison? Like, if you go there, you will literally be gassed to death? Will you choke on your own vomit after inhaling a deadly gas that fills your lungs up with blood? What? What is it? Anyway, let's go over this. Battlefield Global Community Manager Adam Freeman has said that DICE is no longer engaging in Battlefield 2042 subreddit because of toxicity plaguing the environment. As spotted by MP First, Freeman wrote in a series of tweets that DICE won't stop pursuing Reddit for feedback and constructive criticism, but its developers no longer feel comfortable engaging with the website's users. First of all, if the users are doing this on their own time, I don't know why you have to make this thing like go all developers are doing this like a company thing. Okay? So, anyway, Freeman has said that he's open to communicating on Twitter instead, presumably because the platform comes with handy-dandy features to weed out abusive users. Oh, and Reddit doesn't? Are you serious? All you have to do on Reddit is look at the moderators' rules on their subreddit. And and usually 9 times out of 10, when someone makes a subreddit post, subreddit forum, they lay out the rules, and the rules are very simple. Like saying, like, "Hey guys, let's be kind and civil about it. Don't be using racial slurs. Don't be sending death threats. Let's try and keep the conversation going." And it's like, this is what I mean by cowards, okay? Twitter is just full, because on Twitter, you can control who you talk to and who you don't. A subreddit is owned by somebody else that Reddit cannot take down. Like, I can put up a subreddit, and then the developers can come in, but the developers can't block people wanting to engage them on the subreddit because it's my subreddit. And I can easily argue with Reddit saying, I'm not violating anything. These people are just butthurt, and they don't have to be part of the subreddit. As long as everyone's following my rules, I don't give a shit what people feel. But on Twitter, you literally have a block button, which prevents people from actually feedbacking you. So what he's essentially saying that he's saying he doesn't give a shit about constructive criticism or feedback. He just wants to go on. He just wants to be primarily and exclusively on Twitter, because there he can decide who he talks to and he doesn't, compared to Reddit, where he doesn't have that control. And it's the whole reason why I refuse to go on Twitter and I now go on Getter instead. Okay. And then it goes on to a section called Battlefield 2042 Reddit subreddit was almost locked down. Gaming subreddits have replaced video game forums as a platform to gather feedback and engage with players. Many development studios include Reddit in their communication strategy, so this is a significant move on DICE's part. In early January, Battlefield 2042's players became irate over the studio's silence during the holiday period, and the game's subreddit became so hostile that its moderators threatened to lock it down indefinitely. There are constructive thoughts on the game shared and fair expression of how the game today makes folks feel, but the environment isn't constructive, Freeman wrote. That's not to say that hub of community isn't listened to or read. It always is and forever will be. There's freedom in crowds, even if the crowd itself is toxic at its core. Again, I hate it when they... I'm trying not to drop the F-bomb, but I hate it when they use that word toxic. I'm not engaged on Reddit anymore. There's no value in pretending it's a constructive environment. Freeman reassured players that DICE understands their frustration and acknowledged Battlefield 2042's troubled state, but death threats is where developers draw the line. The suggestion that we ignore feedback is unfair. What's been stated is that I won't engage with it. That's essentially ignoring the feedback. If you don't engage with the feedback, you're basically ignoring it. If you acknowledging or engaging is a form of acknowledging the existence of the feedback and telling them, yes, I hear you, Stan the Man 69, that the game is broken and falling off the map and falling through the map is constant. We're going to fix that. And basically saying, oh, there, Stan the Man put a comment up about a certain map. I'm just not going to listen to it. Or I'm not going to engage with it. That is basically ignoring it. There are constructive thoughts on the game shared and fair expressions of how the game today makes folks feel, but the environment isn't constructive. Based on what? And then it just ends. Then the article just ends there, talking about Xbox and PlayStation 5. But this is what I mean. This is what I mean when I say DICE is just full of cowards who cannot take criticism. And here's the thing. if you guys didn't probably notice, I'll also put up a link to a petition.org site. And this is only if you guys have bought the game and cannot get a full refund. Adam, let me tell you this. Your company put out an unfinished game and expect people to buy it full price at $70. $70 for a broken product that does not work as advertised. And another thing is that I've also looked at the so-called subreddit. They have rules on the subreddit that he's talking about. I've looked on there. There's not a one single mention of a death threat. And you want to know why? It's because that's the rules the moderators put forth. They basically said, look, death threats are not allowed on this forum. If you give out a death threat or threaten to dox someone, your comment will be banned. So your comment will be deleted and you will be banned from this forum. And I've looked over that and people have said, oh, all those like evil or like threatening comments are gone. So obviously the moderators are doing their job. All this says to me is that it seems to be that when he talks about toxicity, he's basically saying that every time the developers go on these forums and basically label themselves as official developers for DICE and Battlefield, they're being called scammers or thieves or liars because they are. Not them themselves, but the company did. They put out a product that was broken and people paid full price for it, not knowing that the game was broken because they had no idea about it. People played the beta. They knew it was full of bugs, but the game was still fun. I played the beta and I thought it was fun. I was looking forward to Battlefield 2042, okay, because the beta was so much fun. Despite all the bugs, I was willing to go in and play the game. But then people were saying don't buy it because it's essentially they just rolled back to the alpha build and just released it as a finished game for $70. This is what I mean when I say, what the hell do you mean toxicity or very toxic? Okay? I thought he was talking about full of death threats. And you know what? That would have been fine. However, people are going nuts saying you don't, just because you're being called, you're rightfully being called thieves and scammers because people gave their hard-earned money for a product that doesn't work. And now you're being silent. You're going back to being silent again. The problem is people want you to step into their territory. They want you to be at their level, not in a place where you have full control. This is why, Freeman, you are a coward. If you honestly feel the frustration of these gamers, you would engage with them on a level where you don't have control and they don't have control. Sort of like how you have a debate, like two people are debating and you have the middle person as the moderator, so neither of the side can control except the moderator. Okay? You're just tired. And I always say this, you're a coward. Because you're tired of people raging at you, basically saying, I want my money back. I want my money back. I want my money back. And they're like, I choose to ignore this. I mean, I'm not going to engage with it, and I'm not going to engage with it. That doesn't mean I ignore it. So again, the petition is for basically, giving refunds for Battlefield 2042 under the claim that DICE basically committed false advertisement. And it's only for, and I would only suggest you sign it if you want to get justice for other people, even though you didn't buy the game. That's fine too. But essentially, it's supposed to get people who did buy the game, whether it be through physical or digital, then you're there to go. But yeah, as of right now, As of right now, it's supposed to. It has a goal of reaching 300,000 signatures, and as of right now, it has over. It has about 217,351 53. Yeah, it's just looking at it now. It's gaining signatures. I'm not lying, guys. Go check it out. But it is gaining so many signatures so fast. I can't. It's not even. It's not even a joke. Okay, but people are tired of being scammed. Okay, Adam Freeman. If you ever watch this, or anyone who knows Adam who was watching it, look up Cyberpunk 2077 controversy. And you'll see why people are always going to be skeptical about buying games that are not finished or completely broken and having to pay $70. Okay? And this is my... And until you decide to suck it up, go back on the forum to be on the same level as everyone else, you have zero control, which means you have to take the brunt of everything. You and everyone in the company who has decided that in your corner are cowards. And I will make this claim right now. Until I can see a positive development in Battlefield, I will never, ever buy a product from DICE ever again. I will never buy any Battlefield games. I will not buy another Battlefront game. I'm just done. I'm just seriously done with the way these companies think they can put out products that don't work, expect people to pay full price, and then go on the internet and say how they're the victims because an angry mob of consumers paid their hard-earned cash out for a product that they were lied about. So anyway, guys, that's just my rant. I've been thinking too much of this stuff, but I do think that it is important that, that when you get a product, you should be careful about what you buy because it is your money. You get to decide what you do with it, not DICE, not EA, not any other company. If you're saying like if they're saying you should buy Battlefield 2042 for $70, and you're like, no, I have to use that money to pay rent. You should feel no guilt or pressure having to pay rent. All right, because you know what, Battlefield's still gonna be there. It's not gonna go anywhere. So, if you guys enjoyed this little rant, please leave a like. Share this video. Also, most importantly, with these types of videos, go down and comment. I really would like to see some discussion about this and what y'all think about the situation. And most importantly, guys, please subscribe to the channel for more of these and future videos in the future. And I will see y'all in the next session. I need to go calm down. Thanks for sticking around, guys. I really, really appreciate this. Goodbye.